Stop. Before you take another bite of that avocado, watch this. You've been told avocados are a superfood, and honestly, they are. But here at Bionestra, we dig deeper than the headlines. Because there are 10 specific mistakes that can turn this healthy food into something genuinely dangerous. And after the age of 60, the stakes get even higher. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to eat avocados the right way for your age. And some of what you're about to hear will genuinely surprise you. Let's get into it. Here's something most doctors never tell you. After 60, your body is running on completely different rules. Your kidneys filter blood more slowly, your digestive enzymes decline, your medications multiply. What was perfectly safe at 40 can become a real problem at 65. Avocados are no exception. They contain healthy fats, powerful anti-inflammatory compounds, and an impressive range of vitamins and minerals. They are genuinely one of the best whole foods on the planet. For most people, eaten correctly. That phrase right there is everything. So let's talk about where people go wrong. Mistake 1: potassium and blood pressure medications. Mistake number 1 surprises almost everybody. Eating too much avocado when you're on blood pressure or heart medication. Here's the science. A single medium avocado contains between 700 and 975 milligrams of potassium. That's nearly double what's in a banana. Potassium is essential. It regulates your heartbeat, supports nerve function, and helps manage blood pressure. But your body needs it within a very narrow range. Too little is dangerous. Too much is equally dangerous. The medical term for dangerously high potassium is hyperkalemia, and it becomes increasingly common after 60, especially in people with any degree of kidney disease, which affects roughly 37 million Americans, most of whom don't even know they have it. Now add in blood pressure medications, specifically ACE inhibitors like lisinopril or ramipril, and ARBs like losartan or valsartan. These drugs already raise potassium levels as a side effect. Stack a daily avocado habit on top of that, and you could be pushing your potassium into genuinely dangerous territory. Early symptoms: muscle weakness, fatigue, a subtle flutter in the chest. But in more severe cases, dangerous heart rhythm abnormalities. If you're over 60 and on heart or blood pressure medication, talk to your doctor about your potassium intake before making avocados a daily habit. Mistake 2. Wrong timing and wrong food combinations. Mistake number 2 trips up people who are trying to do everything right. About 77% of the calories in an avocado come from fat, primarily oleic acid, a monounsaturated omega-9 fatty acid. Fat dramatically slows how quickly your stomach empties. That's called gastric emptying rate, and it matters enormously for blood sugar management. Now here's where it gets nuanced. Many people think pairing avocado with carbohydrates is smart because the fat slows glucose absorption. In theory, logical. In practice, the research tells a different story. When dietary fat is chronically consumed alongside refined carbohydrates, it can actually contribute to insulin resistance in muscle cells. The fat interferes with insulin's ability to move glucose out of the bloodstream. So that avocado toast on white bread with a glass of orange juice every morning, it may not be the blood sugar strategy you think it is. The avocado itself isn't the problem. The combination and the timing are, for anyone over 60 managing blood sugar. And nearly half of American adults are diabetic or pre-diabetic. Pair your avocado with non-starchy vegetables, quality protein, or low glycemic foods. And reconsider eating it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach when cortisol is naturally elevated and insulin sensitivity is already reduced. Mistake 3. Eating unripe avocado. Mistake number 3 is one most people would never think to question: the ripeness of the avocado itself. Unripe avocados contain higher concentrations of tannins and a compound called persin, which is primarily found in the skin, pit, and leaves of the avocado plant, but exists in small amounts in unripe fruit as well. In large doses, persin is actually toxic. It's why veterinarians warn against feeding avocados to pets. In humans, the amounts in unripe fruit are too small for serious harm, but they absolutely can cause bloating, cramping, nausea, and diarrhea. And after 60, your gut is simply less forgiving. Your gut lining becomes more permeable. Digestive enzyme production including lytis, which breaks down fat, declines. Gut microbiome diversity decreases. What a 30-year-old digestive system brushes off, a 65-year-old gut may struggle with for days. Unripe avocados also contain higher levels of polyols, fermentable carbohydrates that nutritionists classify as FODMAPs. For anyone with IBS, SIBO, or general digestive sensitivity, an underripe avocado can trigger real discomfort. The fix is simple: wait. A ripe avocado yields to gentle pressure, has dark skin if it's a Hass variety, and has a smooth, creamy interior. No hard center, no brown streaks. If it's not there yet, give it another day or two. Mistake 4. Improper storage of cut avocado. Mistake number 4 is a food safety issue that most people completely overlook. The moment you cut an avocado open, a clock starts ticking. The flesh begins oxidizing. That's the browning. But more importantly, it becomes an ideal environment for bacterial growth. Here's something the FDA found that should genuinely concern you. The outer skin of an avocado harbors bacteria, including Listeria monocytogenes and Salmonella, at higher rates than expected. When you cut through that skin with a knife, those bacteria can be dragged directly into the flesh. If that cut avocado then sits in your refrigerator for 2 or 3 days, those bacteria have had significant time to multiply in a warm, moist, nutrient rich environment. For a younger person with a strong immune system, this might mean a mild stomachache. For someone over 60, especially anyone on immunosuppressive medication or with a chronic illness, listeria is genuinely dangerous. In elderly individuals, it's one of the leading causes of foodborne illness hospitalizations. The safe practice: leave the pit in the remaining half. Apply lemon or lime juice to the cut surface. Consume it within 24 hours whenever possible. Don't assume refrigeration makes it safe indefinitely. Mistake 5. Avocado and warfarin. Mistake number 5 is perhaps the most counterintuitive, and it involves a medication that millions of people over 60 take every single day: warfarin. Brand name: Coumadin, a blood thinner used to prevent strokes and blood clots. It is one of the most sensitive medications in all of pharmacology. Its effectiveness is exquisitely dependent on your dietary vitamin K intake. A single avocado contains approximately 40 micrograms of vitamin K. That's a moderate but meaningful amount. Vitamin K directly supports the blood clotting process, essentially working against what warfarin is trying to do. The danger isn't eating avocados, it's inconsistency. 3 avocados this week, none the next, and your INR levels, the measure of how well your blood is being thinned, swings unpredictably. Too much clotting? Stroke risk. Too little? Bleeding risk. The solution is consistency. Eat avocados regularly in consistent amounts, and make sure your physician and pharmacist know about your dietary habits so your dosage can be calibrated accordingly. Oral allergy syndrome. Mistake number 6 happens before the avocado even reaches your stomach. Most people picture a food allergy as hives, swelling, difficulty breathing, the dramatic anaphylactic response. That kind of avocado allergy does exist. But there's a second, far more common reaction that is massively underdiagnosed in people over 50 and 60. It's called oral allergy syndrome, sometimes called pollen food allergy syndrome. Here's how it works. Avocados contain proteins structurally similar to those found in birch pollen and latex. If your immune system has been sensitized to these pollens, which happens naturally over decades of exposure, it can mistakenly identify avocado proteins as the same threat. The result is tingling, itching, mild swelling of the lips and tongue, or a scratchy feeling in the throat within minutes of eating raw avocado. What makes this especially relevant after 60? This allergy develops gradually. You may have eaten avocados comfortably for decades. Then in your 50s or 60s, you start noticing a subtle tingling. Many people dismiss it as a texture issue or heartburn. It's not. It's your immune system crossing a threshold it's been building toward for years. Each repeated exposure carries a small but real risk of escalation, particularly in people with a latex allergy, a condition doctors call latex fruit syndrome. Important note: cooking avocado generally destroys the proteins responsible for this reaction. Raw avocado, guacamole, sliced on salads is where the risk lives. If you notice anything unusual in your mouth or throat after eating raw avocado, mention it to your doctor. Don't wait. Mistake 7. Tyramine and MAOI mistake number 7 sits at the intersection of nutrition and pharmacology, and almost nobody talks about it in the context of avocados. Avocados contain tyramine, a naturally occurring compound that forms as foods ripen. Tyramine has a very specific and dangerous reaction with a class of antidepressants called MAO inhibitors, or MAOIs. These include medications like phenelzine and tranylcypromine, and also selegiline, which is used in Parkinson's disease management. MAOEs block the enzyme responsible for breaking down tyramine in the gut and liver. When that enzyme is blocked, tyramine from food floods directly into the bloodstream. The result is a hypertensive crisis, a sudden, severe spike in blood pressure that can cause stroke or cardiac event. Symptoms: a severe pounding headache, racing heart, chest pain, sudden sweating. Ripe and overripe avocados carry the highest tyramine levels and are specifically flagged in dietary guidance for MAOI users. MAOIs aren't the most commonly prescribed antidepressants today, but they are used, and they are used in a population that skews older: people with treatment resistant depression and Parkinson's disease. If you or someone you know is on one of these medications, the tyramine restriction is not a suggestion, it is a medical necessity. Mistake 8. Plant sterols and hidden heart risk. Mistake number 8 connects to cutting edge cardiovascular research, and it involves something most people have never heard of. Avocados are one of the richest natural sources of plant sterols, particularly beta sitosterol. Plant sterols are generally celebrated for their ability to lower LDL cholesterol. This is real, well documented, and beneficial for most people. But there is a rare, underdiagnosed genetic condition called sitosterolemia, also known as phytosterolemia. In people with this disorder, plant sterols are absorbed into the bloodstream at far higher rates than normal. They then accumulate in artery walls, tendons, and skin, dramatically accelerating atherosclerosis, the hardening and narrowing of arteries. The dangerous part? It doesn't show up on a standard cholesterol panel. People with cytosterolemia can have seemingly normal LDL levels while their cardiovascular risk is quietly escalating. If you're over 60, have a family history of early heart disease, eat a largely plant based diet, and your cardiovascular risk seems disproportionate to your cholesterol numbers, this is worth raising with your cardiologist. A specialized plasma plant sterol test can identify it. Mistake 9, portion size. Mistake number 9 is entirely practical, entirely common, and entirely avoidable. People eat too much avocado because they believe healthy calories don't count the same way as regular calories. This is a myth, and it's not supported by how energy metabolism actually works. A medium avocado, roughly 150 grams, contains approximately 240 calories. Eating 2 full avocados a day adds close to 500 calories before you've eaten anything else. After 60, your resting metabolic rate declines. Muscle mass decreases, a process called sarcopenia, which further reduces your calorie burning capacity. Physical activity often decreases as well. Your daily caloric needs are measurably lower than they were at 40. Chronic mild caloric excess, not dramatic overeating, just a few hundred extra calories a day, leads over months and years to gradual weight gain, increased visceral fat, worsening insulin resistance, elevated triglycerides, and higher cardiovascular risk. The cruel irony: someone eating enormous amounts of avocado in the name of health can end up with the exact metabolic problems they were trying to prevent. A sensible serving: one third to one half of a medium avocado per day, not one whole avocado at every meal. Not two. Mistake 10, the meta mistake. And now, mistake number 10. I save this for last because it's the one that makes all the others possible. Using food as a substitute for understanding your own health. The internet is saturated with content that presents single foods as miracle solutions. Avocados cure inflammation. Avocados reverse aging. Avocados protect your heart. There is legitimate science behind many of these claims, in certain contexts, for certain people. But the leap from this food has benefits to eat as much as possible and all your problems will be solved is not supported by science. The aging human body is not a simple machine. It is shaped by genetics, medication history, kidney function, gut microbiome composition, hormonal status, and dozens of other variables that no video, including this one, can fully account for on your behalf. Here at Bionestra, we don't want you to fear food. Fear of food is itself a health problem. It leads to anxiety, nutritional restriction, and a complicated relationship with eating that genuinely damages quality of life. What we want for you is informed confidence, the ability to make deliberate, conscious choices about what you eat, knowing why, knowing how much, and knowing how it interacts with your specific biology. Closing action framework. So here's your practical takeaway, a simple framework backed by the science. 1. Know your kidney function. Ask your doctor for a GFR test. If your kidneys are functioning well, moderate avocado consumption is unlikely to cause potassium problems. If your GFR is reduced, this needs a specific conversation with your physician. 2. Know your medications, not just their names, but what they do metabolically. ACE inhibitors, ARs, potassium sparing diuretics, warfarin, MAOIs. These are the drug classes where avocado creates clinically meaningful interactions. Your pharmacist is an underutilized resource. Use them. 3. Listen to your body. If you notice irregular heartbeat after eating avocado, mouth tingling, unusual fatigue, or digestive distress, don't dismiss it. Keep a simple food and symptom journal. The patterns you notice give your doctor something real to work with. 4. Reframe your portions based on your current metabolic reality, not the metabolism you had at 35. Avocados are genuinely one of the most nutritionally complete foods available to us. Eat them, enjoy them. But eat them intelligently, with full awareness of what your body actually needs right now. That's what we're here for at Bionestra. If this video helped you, share it with someone you care about. And subscribe, because this is exactly the kind of science backed, age specific information we bring you every week. Stay informed, stay well.